veggies are in. Look at these beautiful colours. This is so gorgeous. And you can use whatever veggies you want. It doesn't really matter. You can put some broccoli or cauliflower, some eggplant, whatever you feel called to use. Turn that down. I'm going to add just a little bit of tomato puree. I don't want it too saucy, but just a little bit. We were debating what kind of flavour we wanted to create with this meal, and we went for curry. But it doesn't have to be. You can go for a Mexican theme or a more of an Italian herb theme, whatever you're after. Now this recipe actually, my mum used to make something very similar to this, but it would have minced meat, minced beef, and rice, and just a little, veggies as well, but it was predominantly rice and beef. So I used to love this meal, but I never liked the beef. I never liked the meat part. So I would try and pick those bits out and just have the rice and vegetables, which says a lot now, of course I know why. So I thought we would take this recipe and veganize it, basically. So I'm just adding the herbs and spices. I think what we might do is put the capsicums in the oven just to start getting them to start cooking and wilting down a little bit. So I've added some extra sauce and more herbs and spices because I felt like it was going to be too dry once we added the rice. So I'm going to put even more in. The rice is going to absorb a lot of the juice, so I'm going to add a little bit more. So I wanted to mention, before we were talking about salt and oil and how to work towards eliminating them from the diet. And I said that we used to have oil and salt in everything, and just last week we went out and we had some Indian food at a nice restaurant. And
for your birthday?
It was my birthday. Great food, but I have to be honest, after the entree came out, we were like, oh my god, this is so oily, this is so heavy. And we started to feel a little bit unwell. It was this strange feeling of, it's not that we were full from having too much food, in fact we could have eaten a lot more, but we felt really heavy and this film of oil started to form in the mouth and just felt like, oh, because we'd had fruit all day, an abundance of it, and then we had this fatty dinner and it just was not sitting right. And part of us was sort of devastated because we used to love Indian food and that was a bit of a vice for us. And now we're like, oh, we're not enjoying it as the way we used to, and it just doesn't feel the same. And we have to be honest, we just couldn't wait to get home and drink heaps of water, and thought, why don't we just stay at home and cook our food when we feel fantastic? So, we really have cleaned the oil out of our diet, and now it's hard to go back to it. We really struggled to eat that meal. So please don't think that you're never going to be able to stop using oil and never going to be able to stop having salt. Your taste buds will adjust. The more fruit that you eat during the day, the lighter and cleaner you want your dinner to be. And the other thing is your mindset. What do you want? If you're still really hooked on the flavour of oil and salt, then you have to decide what kind of health do you want for your body, what kind of feeling do you want to be left with in your mouth and in your stomach at the end of a meal. If you want to feel clean and you want to feel healthy, you have to start eating clean. It's as simple as that. So make the change in your mind first with your intention, and then in a very short period of time, you will find that anything outside of what you cook at home, you're going to notice the difference. And that's when you know that you've made some serious progress with your meals, with your food. So yeah, just thought we'd share that experience with you. So I think this is good to go. What we're going to do now is add the rice. So look at that, is so pretty. Can you see that? Smells really good. Oh, is this going to splash? So now we're up to the fun part of popping the mixture in to the capsicum. And you want to press down the mixture so that the capsicums are nice and full. We also added more sauce again and more spices, and we decided to squeeze some lemon in as well. Alright, so the capsicums are full, and now we're just placing the little caps on top. That's probably, that one's too small. Can't really match up which one you cut it off, but doesn't matter. And the other thing you might want to do, I think we're going to put a little bit of water in the base here so that they don't stick and burn. Yeah, it's probably good. And so we're going to pop that back into the oven. And the other thing to do in the oven is to put a little dish of water underneath your larger dish, and this will prevent it from burning and sticking. So that's a little tip there. And in they go. So while we're waiting for our capsicums to cook, we can have a little snack with all of this leftover rice. Lettuce leaf. Pop some inside. Oops. There you go, make a little sandwich. Yum. So, this is an example of what we used to have for lunches when we ate cooked food during the day. We would often have a rice dish with some vegetables, usually some leftovers from the night before, like a curry or something, stir fry, and we'd have a lot of lettuce, a lot of actually dark leafy greens like collard and what's that other thing we used to eat?
Bok choy?
Bok choy and kale and dark leafy greens, and wrap up the leftovers in a leaf, which is a great idea. They're very delicious. Not optimal for lunch because, again, you want to try and have as much fruit as you can throughout the day. So fruit for the win, really. Fruit is king. But if you are going to have a cooked meal for lunch, then something like this is what we would recommend. Voila! Done! Some of the tops burned a little bit.
So you don't want to eat that?
No, we'll pick those off, but that's it. Pretty cool. So these are really presentable, so if you're having people over and you want to show off a little bit, this is a really great meal to serve to people. So thank you for watching. If you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do so. And you can also follow us on our website, movemeyoga.com.au. And if you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to share it on social media. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.